What's up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we've got a very special video. This is going to be a talking and advice video. A fireside chat, if I could call it that, because there's some things that I want to talk about to help those of you who are really fearful right now with the market prices continuing to trend downward every day. Am I afraid, scared, nervous? Yeah, admittedly, it's not an easy thing to watch these prices sink down lower and lower and lower when you own an R2D2 and watch, actually, the price went from 9,500 gems down to 3,900 when I was considering selling at 6,500 to buy back low. It's not easy. Or watching my dumb little Mickey Sorcerer's hat go from 6,800 all the way down to 2,100. It gets a little scary. And so a lot of people are a little nervous, and there is uncertainty because of the world events that are going on. And then you have a small percentage of people, a lot of the new folks, who are scared half out their wits because they bought items from the market at the peak of the last market cycle. There are people who have bought the Disney lenticulars. I mean, we're talking at prices north of $1,000. And then today we see the price is cut in half or 1/3. I was looking at Daisy Duck today, and the price is down to 235 gems. Mickey Mouse ticking down below 500. So what do you do? Some people think, oh, that's it. The market, it's all over. VeVe's going down the tubes. That's just the end of the whole deal. I don't agree with that, even though it is a nerve-wracking thing to survive these market dips. But what we can do is think about the market cycles and what we'll do the next time, and using what we learned from the previous market cycles and applying that in the future before you make trading decisions. Now, before I even start, none of this is financial advice. All right, so let's just make that perfectly clear. We're just talking, and hopefully you can take this and apply it to your own financial situation, because only you know what your responsibilities and obligations are. I made a few notes so I can remember all my points. And I want to start out with a little story. I call it time travel trading. Now, what would you do if you could time travel? If you could go forward in time or go back in time. Have you ever caught yourself wishing that you bought an item at the rock bottom price when everybody forgot about it, and then you see it surge 10x, 20x during a market cycle peak? Have you ever caught yourself doing that? We all say, why didn't I get that item back when? For example, Marvel Comics #1 came out. I got one on the drop, and it dipped to 1 gem. And I sat there kicking myself in the head. I was mad because I wasted $6.99. I think I had a couple, so I sold one. I didn't sell it at a loss, but I sold it once it went north of $6.99. And then I had bought an uncommon for around $10. Well, I later sold that uncommon for 500 gems, and I still have the one Marvel Comics #1 that is now worth about 325 gems. So we sit here and we rehash in our minds the time when we could have gotten it for $1. And we say, what if, what if, what if? Same story with Spider-Man. Spider-Man drop comes out and the price dips well below retail, and the common was down to $30. I had 4 of them. Then I had an uncommon and I had a rare. In fact, I had like 3 uncommons and then I had a rare. We lost all hope as the common languished at 30 gems. And then, of course, it exploded. The common went to $2,000. The uncommon, I think, peaked out at $1,400. The rare was, I don't even remember what the rare was. I had sold them all on the way up. I made a decent profit. I think I sold my commons for about 400 gems before it tripled. I sold my uncommon at around 600 or 700 gems before it went to 1,400. I sold the rare at about 500 gems before it went bananas. So then I look back and say, why did I do that? And man, I wish I could just travel back in time and change that decision. So let's think about this. If you could travel back in time, what advice would you give to yourself 6 months ago, 12 months ago? Well, I would have told myself, sell the couch and buy 200 Marvel Comics #1. I would have said, sell your car and buy 100 Spider-Man commons. I would have said, get a second mortgage on the house and get the Spider-Man secret rare that I passed up on the drop because I thought 400 was too much money. But unfortunately, we can't do that. But now that we have had that experience, let me ask you this question. What if you could travel into the future? And what if your future self from 2023 could come back and talk to you right now? What would your future self be telling you? Now, chances are we're going to have several market cycle peaks in the future, no matter how grim the outlook is right now. Because what I've noticed in my lifetime is the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I know some people will be saying, well, no, Carlton, there's a war going on right now, and Vladimir Putin is threatening a nuclear strike, and it's probably going to be the end of the world. I still say the same. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I remember way back when I was in high school and I was reading a book about the nuclear Armageddon that was going to hit us in the future within 10 years. I remember reading another book that was on Nostradamus, however you pronounce that. And it was saying that we were going to have a full-scale nuclear war in 1995, which would be the end of humankind. And I remember how scared I was in 1995, and then how silly I felt when 1996 arrived and we didn't have a nuclear Armageddon. I can't even remember how many predictions for the end of the world I've been through in my lifetime because I'm 54 years old. It was supposed to end in 1995. It was supposed to end when we had Y2K in the year 2000. And then we had all of these biblical predictions about the war in the Middle East. It was supposed to end during the first Middle Eastern War. Then it was supposed to end again when we went back to Iraq the second time. Then it was supposed to end when we had the 5 blood moons. Look it up. The church I went to, we had so many people shaking in their shoes because they believed this story about the 5 blood moons. I won't even get into that. Bottom line, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And even though we are in a war and we have a threat of nuclear Armageddon, we still have to live our lives, because if it doesn't play out that way, you're going to look back and say, why didn't I fill in the blank? Why didn't I live my life? Now, when COVID hit, which was another end of the world type of situation, the crypto market crashed. And I remember the day that ETH hit $90 per coin. I said to myself, I want to pick up 10 of these ETH because it might come back. But then that day, the price spiked to 130, and I thought, well, I better wait because it would be irresponsible to pay 130 for it when it could dip back down to 90 or even go below 90. As you know, it never dipped back down to 90, and you know what the price is today. And I've been kicking myself ever since then. I can't tell you how many market cycle bottoms I have missed for Ethereum and Bitcoin, all because of the fear and trepidation that happens when we're in the middle of the dip, when we're living it in the now. Looking back, it's a whole different story. But if we would apply a strategy where this is what we do during market cycle bottoms, and then don't deviate from that, we're probably going to benefit in the future. Now, for me, now's not the time to be buying VeVe NFTs. Why? It's because I ran out of gems. I made a mistake. I did not sell enough on the last market cycle peak because I listened to people say, you can't never sell the grails. You just don't sell Disney golden moments. That's what they said when the partner statue was at $45,000. When my Mickey hat was at $6,800. When my R2D2 was at $9,500. So I made the mistake of listening to people who scared me into thinking that you just can't sell them. Well, because of that, I don't have enough gems to take advantage of this dip. So what my future self is telling me is learn from the mistake. Because on the next cycle, we're going to have some amazing peaks that will eclipse the ones that we have seen right now. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with 100% certainty, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. So next time, I will be selling, regardless of what everyone says that you can't sell the grails. I might even sell my Todd. The only thing that'll keep me from selling all of my grails, holy grails is what I like to call them, would be to take advantage of DeFi 2.0 or NFT-Fi lending opportunities where I would use my NFTs as collateral for loans. It's the only reason. However, I will sell them because the next time we have calamities that occur, the next time we have our market cycle that takes us to the bottom, when everyone thinks that the bottom is going to fall out and that everything is dried up and that's the end of the world for VeVe, I'm going to have a pile of gems and I'm going to be ready to load up on the deals rather than sitting here looking at these deals thinking, darn, why didn't I sell more to scoop up the stuff right now? Are there risks with gem loading? Yes, there are. I have bills to pay right now, and I can't spend my hard-earned money on gems to buy this stuff at this low point. Why? Because I have taxes to pay. It's tax season. I'm an independent engineering consultant, and I have 4 other businesses, and I got to pay my income taxes. I'm trying to refinance the house, rather. And if I can do that before this bottom finishes, then I might be able to spend some on some of the items that have hit rock bottom prices. But what we need to do is plan for the future. That's my advice to you. Plan for the future. Okay? Now that starts with deciding why you are here. Why are you participating in this? There's so much back and forth and arguing and bickering that goes on where people accuse others. Where did the screen just go? We just blanked out. Had a blackout there. I think my screen timed out. We have a lot of instances where people will accuse others of having paper hands. Well, if you sell your grails, well, you got paper hands. You're just supposed to keep it forever, for eternity, I suppose. But the paper hands thing is silly to me because I am here to make money. Yeah, I do enjoy the NFTs. I like playing with them and doing the VR. But 99% of these things that I buy is not to play and do videos and show pictures of the items. It's to trade them for money. That's why I'm here. And that's okay. That's why I invest in cryptocurrency. It's to buy low and sell high. Second bit of advice I had to give you, you better make a risk management plan. In other words, instead of shooting for the moon, swinging for the fences, and buying everything under the sun to get that 100x gain, you should have a plan for what you'll do just in case we don't shoot for the moon, in case the prices don't 100x from here. Are you spending money that you can't afford to lose? Fortunately for me, even though my collection is worth about 100,000 gems right now, I could lose it all and I'm not going to hurt. I'm still able to work and pay the bills, but I won't go any higher than this level of risk where I'm spending money that I need to pay taxes, which takes me to the next point. Consider taxes and fees before you start going willy-nilly buying gems on the market. You're going to have the cash out tax of 10% with the MTL. Whenever you sell an item that is a Disney item or a Marvel item, you've got what, 8.5 or 12.5% that goes to the creators. You could have bank fees from transferring money. You'll have income tax. You'll have capital gains tax. There's a lot of taxes that you're going to end up paying. So you need to consider that now, because it wouldn't be wise to buy something at 40 gems and sell out at 60. You need to be in for a much longer period of time. For me, I'm not going to cash out anything less than a 10x gain. So if I spend $100 and then I flip something and sell it on eBay or Immutable X or even cash out on the app, it's not going to happen until it's worth $1,000. And then I can give up the $100 fee for cashing out, which takes me to $900. Another 10, 12% for the creators, which is another $100. That's down to $800. And then capital gains tax or sales tax or the regular income tax. Clearing all of that, I'll probably have $500, $600. I'll take a 6X on an investment any day, and I won't complain. Doing the VeVe NFTs is not much different than cryptocurrencies besides the royalty tax that you have to pay to the creators. But keep that in mind. Hopefully this has helped some of you. Maybe it eases your nerves, calms your nerves a little bit. Maybe it gives you a little bit of hope. Let me know if it was helpful and if you are planning for the next run-up. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this important video, because these are the things that we have to consider as we are playing the investment game in the VeVe market. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend and help me to build this wonderful crypto pro community that stretches all across the world. If you are here and you have not come from the list of all of the fantastic countries that I have announced in the past, let me know where you are from and I will add you to the list and announce it in the next video. Until then, be cool. Peace out. I'm gone.